The room smells like her shampoo and something else. Something darker that I won't identify until later, when I've had 3 days alone in a hotel room to think about what it means. Leather, sweat, and the particular musk of bodies moving together in afternoon light. I stand in the doorway of my own bedroom. The suitcase is still in my hand. Id left early from the Chicago conference, caught a flight back Wednesday instead of Friday because the meetings ended ahead of schedule, because I wanted to surprise my wife, because I wanted to sleep in my own bed with her in it. They don't see me at first. Sarah's back is to the door, her spine curved in a way I recognize, her shoulder blades sharp as a bird's wings. Michael is beneath her, my brother's hands on her ribs, his face turned away toward the wall. They move together like they know this choreography, like it isn't the first time. I could make a sound. I could roar. I could throw the suitcase. I could do what men are supposed to do in situations like this: rage, demand, destroy something. Instead, I stand very still and watch the back of my wife's head, waiting for her to feel my presence the way animals do. It takes perhaps 10 seconds. Sarah stiffens first, her hips stopping mid-motion. Then Michael's eyes snap toward the door, and I watch his face rearrange itself through surprise, shame, and something that looks almost like resignation. Like he's been expecting this. Like he's been waiting. "Mark," Sarah says. Just my name. Not "Mark, I can explain," or "Mark, this isn't what it looks like." Just Mark, like she's disappointed in me for arriving early, for ruining the timing of her infidelity. I set the suitcase down very carefully on the hallway carpet. Then I turn and walk back down the stairs, through the living room, past the family photos on the mantel. Our wedding, both of our parents alive, the three of us at my mother's funeral last year, and I keep walking until I am in the car and driving toward the highway. I don't know which hotel I'm going to until I pull up in front of it. The Riverside Suites, the kind of place that rents rooms by the hour and has a bourbon selection that doesn't ask questions. I take a room on the 4th floor with a view of the parking lot, and I don't answer my phone. Sarah calls 18 times on Wednesday. Michael calls twice, then stops. By Thursday morning, Sarah has shifted tactics. Short voicemails that try for calm. "We need to talk about this. Please call me. Mark, please." By Friday, she's crying. By Saturday, she's not calling at all. I order room service. I don't eat it. I sit on the bed and look at my phone and try to understand the moment when my wife and my brother became people I didn't know. I try to construct the timeline. When did it start? Was it recent? How many times? Where did they go? What did they say to each other? How long was Michael in my house, in my bed, inside my wife? The questions spiral and I can't answer them, so I drink bourbon instead. On Sunday afternoon, the 4th day, there's a knock on my door. Michael stands in the hallway with his hands in his pockets, thinner than I remember, with dark circles under his eyes that I associate with something I can't quite name. He looks like he hasn't slept properly in weeks. "You look like shit," I say. "I know," he says. "Can I come in?" I consider the question. I consider closing the door. Instead, I step back and let him move past me into the small, stale room that smells like nothing now, like grief has a scent that overwhelms everything else. "I am not going to apologize," Michael says, and something about this honesty makes me want to break something more than any groveling could have. "I am not going to tell you it didn't mean anything or that it was a mistake. That would be a lie, and you deserve better than that." Do I ask, because it seems like maybe I don't. Michael sits on the edge of the bed without being invited. "Sarah's dying," he says. The words don't make sense at first. I wait for him to continue, to clarify, to explain what he means. When he doesn't, I say, "What?" Stage 4, pancreatic cancer. She was diagnosed 8 months ago. She told me 3 months ago because she needed help with treatment, and she couldn't get it from you without telling you, and she was terrified of putting you through it again after Mom. I want to laugh. I want to tell him this is the most pathetic lie I've ever heard. I want to physically hurt him for insulting my intelligence with a story this transparent. But something in his face, something broken and true, makes me stay quiet. She has maybe 6 months, Michael continues. Aggressive treatment, low response rate. She came into the hospital on Tuesday for her last round of chemo before you were supposed to come home. She was going to tell you after your project finished in a month. She wanted you to have these last weeks thinking everything was normal. Why would she tell you this? I hear myself ask. The voice sounds like it's coming from very far away. Because I've been driving her to treatment, sitting with her after. She was alone and scared, and I was there, and somewhere in all of that, we became something we didn't plan to become. I moved to the window and looked down at the parking lot. A woman is getting out of a minivan with 2 children. They're arguing about something, their mouths moving, soundless through the glass. Normal people living normal lives. I don't believe you, I say, but I am already remembering. Sarah's mysterious appointments, the weight loss Id attributed to stress, the way she'd turn away from me in bed as if her body hurt, the paleness of her skin in the mornings. All of it there. All of it hidden. Go to the house, Michael says. Look at her, y'all see it then. I don't turn from the window. And the 2 of you? We were together because we thought we had an expiration date, Michael says quietly. Because the world was ending and we held on to the only person who understood it. I don't know if that would have happened in any other circumstance. I don't know if I love her or if I love what she represented, the urgency, the forgetting, the temporary nature of everything. That's very honest, I say. I hate that, I know. I wait for him to say more, to fill the silence with something that will make this easier. He doesn't. Leave, I tell him. He leaves. I go home at 6 p.m. on Sunday. The house is silent and smells like it always does, like Sarah's jasmine diffuser and the particular scent of our lives together. I find her in the bedroom, sitting at the vanity, and the shock of seeing her is so complete that I have to grip the doorframe. She is skeletal. Her hair, which I saw only 4 days ago, glossy and full, is thinner with a dullness that speaks of chemotherapy. Her hands shake as she reaches for a lipstick, and I watch her try to apply it to lips that have lost their plumpness, their color. She catches my reflection in the mirror and goes very still. "Hello," she says quietly. "Sarah, please don't say anything until you let me explain." I cross the room and sit on the bed. This close, I can see the shadows under her eyes that aren't makeup. The way her skin has developed a papery quality. The small scabs from where she's had central lines placed. I can smell it on her now. The particular chemical stink of someone undergoing aggressive medical treatment, the scent of a body at war with itself. "I didn't want you to know," she says, still watching my reflection instead of turning to face me. "I didn't want you to spend these months terrified. Your mother, Mark, I watched what it did to you, and I couldn't bear to put you through it again. By fucking my brother?" She flinches. "That wasn't about lying to you. That was about me being scared and alone and your brother being kind. He's my brother. I know. He's my brother, Sarah. He's my family." She finally turns to face me, and her eyes are red-rimmed, the pupils dilated. She reaches out, and I let her take my hand even though every cell in my body wants to pull away. I was so afraid, she whispers. I am so afraid. And I didn't want you to be afraid too. I wanted you to be safe and unbroken, and I wanted to protect you. And instead, I lied to you, and I betrayed you, and I hurt you, and I can't fix any of it. I don't say anything. I sit with her hand in mine, and I feel the bones beneath her skin, the softness that illness has created, and I try to map the equation. Wife plus betrayal plus terminal illness equals forgiveness. It doesn't balance. I need to decide something, I tell her finally. And I need to do it before I can even look at you, let alone be in this room with you. Okay, she says. If I stay all the way. I don't leave, I don't punish you with silence. I am here for every treatment, every hard day. I am here when you're sick and scared and dying. And I am here after, am here for the funeral, I am here for the grief. I choose all of it, consciously, knowing what I am choosing. But if I do that, you never hide from me again. You never lie again. You let me have my choices. Mark, I am not finished. And if I can't do that, if I can't forgive this, if I can't be what you need, then I leave and I don't come back and we're done. We're finished. But I make that choice now, before everything gets worse, before I have to bury you and hate you both at the same time. Sarah is crying, silent tears moving down her face. I want you to stay, she whispers. Then we start now. No more lies, no more protecting me from reality, no more pretending. Okay, she says. And Michael? She doesn't answer. Sarah, Michael? I don't know, she says finally. I think he was in love with me. I think I was in love with him. I think we were both just so scared that we reached for each other and held on. I think if circumstances were different, but they're not. No, they're not. I stay. For 6 weeks I stay. I take medical leave from work. I drive her to treatment. I sit with her while the poison moves through her veins. I hold her hair back when she vomits. I sleep in the chair next to our bed because I can't bring myself to touch her, to lie next to her, to be intimate with the body that betrayed me. We exist in a strange, suspended state, not reconciled but not separated, bound together by the gravity of her diagnosis and the weight of what we're both carrying. Michael stays away. I see him twice at grocery stores, moving quickly to the opposite aisle, and once I find a note he's left in my mailbox. I don't open it. Sarah's last round of treatment is scheduled for a Friday. By then, she's so weak that I have to help her dress. She's lost so much weight that she's ghost-like, translucent. The doctors have started talking about palliative care, about comfort rather than cure. We've begun the process of ending. The biopsy results come in on Tuesday afternoon, and Dr. Chen, the oncologist I've come to resent with a depth I didn't know I possessed, calls personally. I don't quite know how to tell you this, she says. My stomach drops. This is it. The news that makes everything real, the numbers that confirm my wife is actually dying. The tumors are gone, Dr. Chen says, all of them. Complete remission. We've never seen this kind of response to treatment before. Pancreatic cancer just it doesn't go away like this. But the scans are clear. All of them. I don't say anything. I am recommending we continue monitoring closely, but Mr. Harrison, your wife, is cancer-free. Sarah is standing at the kitchen counter when I tell her. The phone drops from my hand and she catches it, sees it on speakerphone, hears the words again. She makes a sound I've never heard before, a breaking, a cracking open, a kind of keening that starts in her chest and moves outward. I am not dying, she says. No, I tell her. I am not dying. Mark, I am not. She moves toward me and I step back. She stops moving. We stand across from each other in the kitchen of the house we've shared for 12 years, the kitchen where we've had breakfast and made love on the counter and talked about the future we were planning to have, and the future has shifted. She doesn't have 6 months. She has 50 years, maybe more. She has time to make different choices, to hurt people differently, to decide if she loves my brother or if she was just afraid. And I have to decide if her miracle is mine too, or if it's just the cruelest twist of all. I call Michael that night. She's in remission, I tell him. I hear the sound of him breathing, the silence that means he understands what this change is. She's not dying, I say. I know, so all of this. The lying, the affair, the forgiveness I was supposed to give because she's tragic and dying, it doesn't apply anymore. She's going to live. We're all going to live. Mark, I don't know what to do, I tell my brother. I don't know how to move forward from this now. Neither do I, he says. On Saturday, the three of us sit in the living room. Michael is on the couch. Sarah is in the chair. I am standing by the window, the same position I've taken since they arrived. Nobody is speaking. Nobody is looking at anyone else. The television is on but muted. Outside, a family walks by on the sidewalk, parents and 2 children, laughing about something we can't hear. Sarah reaches over and takes Michael's hand. I watch them, and I feel something crack open inside my chest, not the breaking, but the recognition of it. The understanding that we have somehow become a different kind of tragedy. Not the tragedy of loss, but the tragedy of time. We have 50 years ahead of us, 50 years to sit with this, 50 years to decide who we are to each other now that the excuse of death is gone. I don't know how to do this, Sarah says finally. Her voice is small, fragile in a way that has nothing to do with her illness. Neither do I tell her, and I don't think that changes, even with time. Michael looks at me. Are you leaving? I consider the question. 6 weeks ago, I would have said yes. A month ago, I would have said I didn't know. But now, standing in this room with the woman I married and the brother I grew up with, both of them alive, both of them waiting for me to decide their futures, I understand that I am not leaving because I can't afford to. Not because I forgive them. Not because I understand. Not because I love either of them in this moment. But because staying, in all its complicated, impossible, agonizing weight, might be the only honest thing left to do. No, I say, I am staying. And none of us know if that's salvation or just another kind of prison.